All right, Coach Patsos in studio with us here on Big Board Sports. We knew he was coming because Michelle sent out the tweet, and I retweeted. So I knew you were going to be here, Coach, because Michelle said you're on, you're
She's
on your
a
way.
great coach's wife, I'm telling you. It's funny because people say, it's not easy being married to a coach, which it isn't. But it is if you figure it out. In other words, it's just part of the deal, We go on recruiting trips together. I take her to lovely. I said, hey, I got a great restaurant. Want to go? It's 3 hours away in the middle of New Hampshire. She's like, whatever. Got to drive through an ice storm, but while I'm making calls. But in other words, if you have a great coach's wife, it's easy to you just have to dig in. Fran she was a great coach's wife and everything. And I know Jamie does a great job with Will and other stuff. In other words, you either get it or you don't. So,
especially after the losses, right? If you lose a game, how do you react to a loss? Are you just like miserable?
No,
or are you all right?
No, I'm actually, especially this year, I'm patient and positive because you got a young team.
Right.
But my thing is, I'm actually as bad after wins as after losses. Not in terms of being angry or emotional, but I like to watch wins actually more. Like the other night, I just watched till 3 a.m. So I got the DVD, and I still use DVDs, and I like to listen to the broadcast if it's on, TV or that, because I don't get the General that often. General and Kelly do a good job, but I'll listen to AJ and Grisoulas just to see what they're saying. And because sometimes they say things that the players are doing wrong, and then I can show the players, and I'm not saying it, they are. Like, Grisoulas is like human turnover machine, and I'm like, see? I didn't say it, but you might.
Andy, I got to be honest with you. I love Grisoulas. Yeah. I covered Grisoulas. All right.
Oh, he can tell like it is, Michigan guy.
I listen to him on there. He's like, oh boy, Andy just tells it like it is. He doesn't hold back.
No, and which is fine. I like that. And plus, he wore the jersey. He's part of the family.
Right.
But my point is after games, if you lose, clearly you don't sleep well because you're redoing the game in your head. But if you win, you want to. But I like to watch because then you can teach a lot more after wins because you can say, hey, you did this great and we won. However, the behind the backer after you went through the legs going left with the runner probably wasn't such a great idea. And here's what Andy had to say. And then Grisoulas. So Michelle knows that. So she'll watch with me. And then there's nights she's like, forget it. I'm just going to go watch.
She watches
she likes it. And she works out and everything. So she understands sports. But there are times when I'm watching videotape or watching, like last night I was watching Clemson, Carolina. She doesn't want to watch that. But she likes Cal and Kentucky really a lot. So she's like, put the game back on.
Boy, did they get a big win.
They got a huge win. That just goes, I texted Coach.
A lot of close games.
No, I texted Coach Abe Waldeslassie and said, we're watching the last 2 minutes today of Kentucky and the last 2 minutes of Clemson. Clemson, the guy didn't go the right way in Carolina. He hit a 3. There's Kentucky fouls. They get the free throw rebound, or you don't get the. Sometimes you got to watch other plays to learn other plays. Plus, we have a young team, so I wanted to watch Clemson, Carolina. They're a little more veteran. But I also wanted to watch Kentucky and say, they've been down 14 and 17 the last 2 games. We were down 11. We're young teams, but we're learning to fight back. Now we're fighting back and winning. And
I said a win is a win. Yeah,
absolutely.
You're coming off the same piece. If you look at the stats, you go, oh, my goodness, both teams just struggling to shoot the ball. I guess you give credit to the defense.
John Don. That's the way they play. See, Roger knows. That's how they play.
That is the way they play. But still was.
And you've been around sports a long time.
But you take the win.
Usually the defensive thing wins, Roger. In other words, of setting tempo. I'm not saying they win the game. But whether the Giants against the Pats, like we're going to grind it out, slow it down, and play defense. It's hard to have high-octane offense when you're playing against a team that not only plays good defense, they kind of run the shot clock down. But
your game plan, did you try and run more half-court
we did
sets and not settle for the 3? Because I know you were not happy with maybe the number of threes you took against.
You took so many threes against Monmouth, 24. Quinnipiac was just a little bit of. We're going to have an interesting practice today because. We're a young team, and when they win, I don't want to point out too many bad things. And even when we lose, I've been pretty nice with this team in terms of for only having 7 wins, et cetera. There's no anger. There's no, once in a while I say, hey, you might want to rethink this thing. Like winning does matter, but I'm being patient. But I also want to watch it because last time we had a big win against Marist, and maybe we took our foot off the pedal. And Quinnipiac, our effort was, as my roommate in college that was there said, that was a little lackluster. I didn't sleep well thinking. I had the word lackluster imprisoned on my forehead for 4 hours counting the sheep. So we will practice hard today at the Times Union Center. We get to use the Times Union Center once in a while to practice. We didn't shoot free throws well. We've been gone 4 out of 5. You just got to keep trying to think new things. Really proud of Herter's 9 rebounds. He clearly is a better free throw shooter than 2 for 7, but that's how it goes. I told him sometimes that happens, but he got big rebounds. Prince played well defensively.
Yeah.
Fisher did not shoot the ball well, but he took good shots. See, that's what's weird. Evan took good shots, but was 1 for 10. But Penn saved us, and Shivers is fighting back, and Manny Camper can play. But I had my 2 guards out, Horn and Richards, who are both playing while they're injured. And Hammer's trying. Hammer's as good as there is in the business. I don't know. I got to see Hammer today because I had to do a couple radios. I did my other radio show this morning, and then I want to come in here because I miss you guys. And it's Super Bowl week.
Yeah, don't worry.
We're going to get a prediction out of you for sure.
But if anybody can get him ready, it's Hammer. And Horn tried to warm up and just couldn't. Khalil hurt his right hand, his shooting hand, on a play in practice, right before the game, Monmouth, and couldn't play and made the trip. Now, he couldn't play the other day. Hammer thinks he might be able to practice. You got to practice a little before you play, but those are our 2 guards that score. So I was just really pleased we won. But I'll tell you, the crowd was great, and they were into it, and they were giving us a little heat for not scoring, but they really were good down the stretch for us. And now we have a lot of people coming Friday. You got to come Friday. We're playing Manhattan Friday night game. I think there's a craft beer special, but there's a big free ticket sale. It's going to be a really good event. And the Times Union Center just keeps getting better and better, whether it's the front, they fixed the locker rooms in the back, they're doing some things out in the court. It's really a great place to come see a game.
Jimmy, I forget if it was about 6 years ago that Mike Bray installed this burn offense with his Notre Dame team, which typically would score in the 80s. But that year he didn't have it offensively, and he ran the shot clock down, which reminded me of what you guys did on Monday night. Was that a game-by-game thing because, like you said, no Khalil, no Jordan ready to go, or is that something you're going to go kind of long-term?
No, I'm not. I always like to press and run. That's a really good question. And it wasn't. Look, we're just teaching back to my basic 2 play. There's a lot of counters off of it. Guys are really young, and they're really learning this little play. It gives you a good set. It actually worked better down the stretch. We got better as the game went along. What I was trying to do is make everybody touch the ball. In the flex, everybody touches the ball. Sometimes with the screen and roll, the modern-day Warriors offense, 1 or 2 guys taken. And against Monmouth, after a few cross half court dribble into a pull-up 3 from 36, I reevaluated our situation since Pete Durr's here with me, my assistant, and said, we don't have the Smash Brothers over here, so we're going to take this thing down. And let's go back to 3rd gear before we're going 100 miles an hour in 5th gear. So, but we're getting better. And we're grinding better, and we're doing better on defense. And the young kids, the bench was really excited we won. And Manny Camper's coming along. He's got to come along. But it's just a thing where Sammy Friday gave us a nice dunk in a couple minutes. You don't know who it's going to be on this team, but we are building for the Manhattan game. And then we're building for February, and then we're building for the MAC tournament. Then we're building for next year because we're young. But there's lots of basketball to be played. And as you guys know, anything can happen in the tournament. Plus, we host the tournament, so we've had a great home crowd, and we've been playing pretty well at home because we've been winning. We beat Robert Morris at home, who's in 2nd place, Hofstra, who's in 2nd place at home, Holy Cross, who just won the other night, Canisius, who's in 1st, Marist, who's our rival, and then St. Peter's. But, it's important for the fans. I'm really supportive. I'm really grateful for the support we've gotten from our fans. John Dargeni and I are trying to put a good product out, sell tickets, but we're trying to win games now, and that's what we're doing. Yes, we have to figure something else out on the road. I'm coming up with a whole road strategy for next year, and it's basically going to be doing everything opposite that we've done the last 2 years because it hasn't really worked.
That's like Costanza.
Yeah, do the opposite. Remember that?
Right.
Remember that? I love that one. So, Jerry, it's working. I went in and said, I don't want this job. I got it. So, but we also were growing up, and we're figuring it out. And, we lost a player, and that's always a weird thing to go to, no matter how you shake it out. We lost a family member, and I'm still in communications with Nico, and he's at school, and he's trying to figure out where he goes. But that's like a lot on the team because we used to give him the ball a lot. And so we're learning about a lot of different things that we're trying to do. And by the way, it's college basketball. The other team's trying. They have good players. They're scouting. They have good assistant coaches. They have video. And they know we're really young. But we've grown up a lot in the last month, and I like this team.
All right, we got Super Bowl week here.
And if you look at the standings, 1 win Friday goes a long way for Siena.
What we have said for a number of weeks now is that even in the games that you lose, they're close.
We had Iona.
We looked at the schedule. Have you gotten blown out at all?
Knock on wood so far. No, we did early in the year.
Game. Right. But I mean, in the conference games in the MAC tournament at home, there's no. I don't see a dominant team in the MAC.
No, not right. I mean, we had Iona. Are they like, Iona's really good talent wise, but we had them beat. I mean, we were up 8 with 8 minutes to go.
But they're beatable.
Oh, yeah, they're beatable.
Yeah.
The game that kind of turned it for us actually was see, that's what people don't get. Albany was like a turning point for us. We played well. We took the lead with 3 minutes to go. Yeah, they beat us. They're a really good program. They're probably going to go to the finals, if not beat. I mean, they can beat Vermont. I don't care what's going on. I think Albany, Vermont's the final, and Will can win anyway. He probably likes it better on the road anyways. You know him. He likes the adversity and everything. So that was a turning point of when we saw that we could compete. Yeah, beating Hofstra was nice. Yeah, beating Robert Morris. But we knew Albany was really good. Then we played well at Louisville for 22 minutes. Then we played well at Memphis for 34 minutes. Then we beat Holy Cross. Now, we stubbed our toe at Marist, but all of a sudden they're pretty good. They beat Manhattan. Funk hit a 3 last night. Quinnipiac's winning games. Now, that was a last-second game. So, but learning to win, as you both know, because you cover colleges and pros, it's a process, and we're learning. But I like our team, and Shivers is kind of shaking out of his little slump, and he hit a big game winner for us again. So you just got to try and win. Friday night's a huge game. We need people out. Rich Williams is really good. Steve can coach. They've won the championship twice there. They got a senior point guard. They got a great shot blocker. They got Waterman, who plays like Brett Bisping. And they're going to be hungry to beat us, but that's what you want. It's good basketball, and it's a great time to come down and come watch us play. And the media's been great with us. They're being patient, but there's a lot. The MAC, it's February, and we're really excited to be playing. And the kids, I can tell, I see it in their eyes how they're ready to grind. But we're having Manhattan's Friday night, and then we got to go to Fairfield, who was a player of the year, and Tyler Nelson, and they just won a big game. They beat Iona in overtime, so it shows you.
And then you go to Canisius, right?
And then we go to Canisius.
But you don't do the Canisius Niagara. That doesn't.
No, we lost Niagara this year, which is much to the chagrin of the merchants of Buffalo. They've already sent me there. Sorry to hear you're only coming for one day. We do spread it around. We've gone to Rick James's grave. Anchor Bar for the Wings.
But this is the first time you haven't that I can remember.
I'll still go to take the team to Niagara Falls. But we went to it's funny, we went to 18 league games, and now everybody's going back to 20. So we'll probably go back. Like the Big Ten and the BCS leads that. And they're all going back to 20 games. So we will probably go back. But we don't go to Niagara, and Ryder doesn't come here. But we're still going to get the Niagara Falls trip in. But Canisius is really playing well, and right now they're in first place. So this is a big week, but I'm really worried about Manhattan. But we are going to go on Sunday to New Haven early. We're going to practice, and then we're going to watch the Super Bowl as a team.
All right, so there you go. Perfect. Who do you like and why?
I just have a funny feeling the Eagles it's their time. Their defenses may be ready. I think they're a little more athletic. I told someone the other day, it could be like when the Seahawks played Manning and the Broncos. Like, they may blitz them. It's going to end up 31-24. Brady will have the ball with a chance probably, but I just think the Eagles 31-24. I've been talking a lot to my team about Foles. Great high school teammate in Austin. Goes to Michigan State, it doesn't really work. Goes to Arizona. Always good to his linemen, handing out the stickers. Doesn't make it as the starter. That never quits, goes back, then steps in, then doesn't try to come in and say, I'm the man, and throw bombs. Just like that's what we were talking about. Sometimes you tell players I need more, and they think that means 17 three-pointers. No, we need you to do defensive rebounding. Foles has been very impressive to me. It's a hard situation to come into.
And he's like a really nice guy.
That's what I'm saying. Nice guy, great teammate.
Maybe a little too nice for me.
Well, you're from Penn State, so.
I mean, he's just a little too nice.
But it's a good example for our team to see that he's kind of just trying to fit the role. And
he's good, I tell you that.
No, he's good, but they got a good defense, so they can win it. Now, are the Patriots going to be, the favorite and everything? And I use Brady a lot in terms of loving the game, his enthusiasm. I met him, and he talked about how his favorite thing was being a catcher in high school. Then at Michigan, he loved playing pickup in the spring with the players. Then they brought him in. The coach came over, the basketball coach, and said, "We love having you, but can you not take so many threes? Because we're trying to get our he's a competitive athlete, and at 40." That's impressive, but I'm talking about the love of the game. I tell our team, this guy loves the game, and you got to respect that.
What is your favorite Super Bowl moment? As a kid watching?
Ravens winning. I mean, the Ravens winning the first one when Ray Lewis and them were there, because my friend at the time was a partial owner. Steve Bisciotti's a friend of ours. He supports the program. He helps us out here at Siena. But he's a great guy. He's from Maryland. He's a self-made guy. He's one of Gary Williams' best friends. But he's a competitor, and I've known him through golf and hanging out. But the Ravens Super Bowl, the Ravens Super Bowl, and that was the first one. But my favorite one was the Ravens getting the 4 stops in a row against the Niners. I was supposed to go to the game. He had left me a ticket, and I was in Buffalo, and we beat Niagara in double overtime. There's a snowstorm, and I still make it to the airport, and the plane's just taken off, and they were closing the gate. They were closing security. TSA had been let go. Had they been there, I would have ran through. I'm like, there's my plane. I'm going to New Orleans. I'm going to see the Super Bowl. So I got stuck there instead, which was fine. No, true story, because it was snowing, so my cab, he was being safety. I'm like, safety first? All right, not now. Hurry up.
Yeah.
But we had won on a Julie, but we threw a long home run pass. We faked it. The guy ran up, and the guy behind him caught it and laid it in, which is how we beat Albany the first time I played them at Loyola. It's almost like a lucky Hail Mary. It's almost like the Wittenberg NC State play.
Yeah.
It was like an accidental thing. And we won, and I was so happy we won. But an hour later, I was crying at the gate. I was literally crying, going, "There's my plane." And it was the last one out. And the next day was the Super Bowl, and they won. Yeah, I'm a Ravens guy through and through. I can't help it. They're just... I like the Yankees. It's funny, I like the Yankees. I like the Celtics. I like the Penguins because my wife's a huge Penguins fan. Not just because she's from Pittsburgh. That was her team. She doesn't like the Steelers. And I like the logo of the Penguins and all that. But they're fun to watch. They got really good players. But... My passion's the Boston Celtics. So other than that, the Super Bowl stuff's fine, but my passion's the Celtics.
Well, I hope
play the Knicks tonight.
I hope they do. And the Knicks won last night. They beat Brooklyn.
Should Knicks trade or acquire?
I think they need to acquire.
Sell, baby.
Oh, Chris
we disagree on this one.
They're close because if you can, don't those fans deserve a playoff bid? By the way, talk about wide open. Anybody can beat it. I don't think anybody in the East is that great.
And now Kevin Love's out for a while. And
so he hurt his hand in a funny kind of way.
Broke his hand, so he's out 6 to 8, right? 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep.
Look, we've had injuries
John Wall's
too.
Out 6
John
to 8.
Wall. I saw them play on Christmas Day against the Celtics. In other words, if the Knicks get in and the Celtics are the number one, I love the Celtics. I love Brad Stevens, and I want them to win every game. They don't have enough depth. Smart's hurt. They're not good enough. They're not just going to walk over. You know what I'm talking about. So why wouldn't you try to make the playoffs if you're the Knicks?
Well, I hope you're right on Philly, man. I'm all about Philly because Kelly's all about Philly this year.
Yeah.
So her father passed in June.
Sorry to hear.
They're all Philadelphia. This is a Philadelphia Eagle family. So she's flying to Delray. She's flying to Delray.
Right,
that's a cool town.
I'm here.
Yep.
She's going to be at a Hurricane Bar in Delray, big Philadelphia Eagle bar with her mother and brother, having a good old time.
Well, she deserves it. Delray's a cool old. That's an old school town.
I was there once in September. We had a lot of fun. Well, I didn't go back. I'm not invited back. I got to stay and watch kids and coach basketball.
Which you like. I'm going to your game. You have a game in a couple weeks against the Jack Donahue team. Him and Coach Hurley. Coach Hurley. Coach Hurley, I went to one of his games. I can't wait to go. So did you grow up a Steelers fan?
Yeah, Steelers.
And then who was your growing up team?
Packers. I'm still a Packers fan.
He's funny. Aaron Rodgers is going to be racing cars now, I see.
Let's hope not, huh? Man,
he is.
First jersey I ever owned was a Sterling Sharp jersey.
How about that?
I'm a Packers fan.
That was the first sports book I ever read as like a second grade. It was Vince Lombardi and the Packers. You knew who Bart Starr was. And okay, so you're not. They don't like you if you're a Steelers fan. The Eagles fans hate you guys.
Right. But I'm playing I'm a Philly fan this year.
Got it.
Just because.
But you did turn into a Giants fan, right?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Sperber told me the time you took him to the locker room. And he was holding the mic.
Oh, yeah. That was back in the day.
The girl from Law and Order was there.
Back in the day, we used to get.
Is that an internship?
Well, what that was. But that year, we used to get like.
Angie Harmon was there, right?
Yeah. They would give you, Chris, back in the day, you could get 3 media passes for one station because you had an audio guy. Like,
right. They said.
Guy.
Right.
Sperber. You want to be audio guy? What I got to do? Stick a microphone right there. I'm in.
It's unbelievable. He's like, you're from Law and Order. I'm like, take it easy. He does a great job with us at Huck Finn.
Oh, man, he's awesome.
Craig, I've seen Craig from All Star.
Craig's awesome. Yeah.
He's
all good.
He's feeling better.
That's good.
He's a great supporter. He comes to games, but come Friday night, the Manhattan game's tough. Massiello's good, and everything's up in the air, but our kids are working hard, and we're on the track.
We
Love
appreciate
you guys.
it.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate you
Thanks,
coming
Jim.
in.
Go Eagles.